I gotta turn off this music, otherwise I can't keep the VOD. Alright guys, turn it to web browser. Alright, right here. I joined Smashboards in 2007. Okay, so that was 11 years ago, or 10 and a half years ago, since it's July, right? I joined, oh man, what a story. So my brother showed me this video. Right, he showed me this. Right. And if you guys don't know what this video is, this is definitely worth looking at. Definitely the coolest video. Definitely artifacted as hell by now. I watched this video, SSBM Perfect Control. I watched Shine Blind. If you guys don't know what Shine Blind is, you are totally missing out. 11 years ago, dude. This is what I was watching 11 years ago, Shine Blind. This fox was going nuts. So I joined Smashboards in 2007. I had just missed MLG. I had just missed the big action of DBR, like all those videos I was showing you. I just started watching them, and I didn't really play at all. So what I did was I actually went here to Smashboards, right, to find more tournaments. And back then, Smashboards looked a little different. So the very first tournament I went to was, or one of the first ones. I'm not exactly sure if it was my exactly first one or second, but it was actually in Chicago. I had to skip the last class of my senior high school schedule to make it on time. I like calculated with like driving through traffic and making it to the bracket that I had to skip class and go to the tournament. So I go to this tournament. I don't know anybody there. I think I carpooled with a Ganondorf player, and I didn't even make it out of pools. I don't think I won a single game. I think I took a couple stocks here and there, but I remember just being extremely salty about the game. I remember I had worked on tech skill, and that when I went to go play the game in tournament, that the barrier to tech skill was like the only reason why I wasn't having fun or winning or succeeding or anything like that. So immediately after my first tournament, I decided to quit Melee. Like I had looked up all this stuff and I thought it was really cool, and then I went to a tournament and I said to myself, this is not the game I want to play. Right? You gotta practice all these. Here's another one, guys. Walks Advanced How to Play. This guy taught me how to play. He has a couple of videos on how he just explains all the technical terms. Literally every technical thing you could want about Melee at the beginning of the game. Right? He didn't do all the new stuff like slide offs or SDI manipulation the way we do it, but he gives you a very big grasp of all these engine mechanics that you never really knew when you're casually playing, right? So like that kind of interested me. I went to a tournament, saw tech skill being the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. I hated tech skill. I really just hated it. And I decided Melee was not for me. A week goes by after that tournament, and my brother shows me a Roy combo video. It's just a random combo video. There's very little Melee content in this point, guys. You have to remember, back in 2007, YouTube was in its infancy. Okay, there was very little content in general. I watch a Roy combo video. I think it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I go upstairs, get my brother to play my Roy, and I feel great about the game again. Before long, I look up another tournament, and I go back to Smashboards, right? And I told you that the first tournament I talked about was in Chicago, right? I'm in Chicago right now. I'm probably not too far from where the tournament was. I have no idea. I forgot where it was. 10 years ago, the city was still kind of new to me. I have no idea where it was. But I looked for my next tournament. Right, only a week or two had gone by since my first tournament that I just quit Melee immediately. Right, so only a week or so goes by, and I'm looking for my next tournament, and I go to like the region Midwest, and I look, and there's literally no events for like 2-3, maybe a month, right? 2-3 weeks, month, maybe 2 months before the next like Chicago event. So I'm like scratching my head looking at the events, and this coming Saturday, right? This is back in this when I'm telling the story. I'm like, this Saturday there's a tournament at Purdue. Okay, so Purdue is like a 2.5-hour drive from Chicago. I go by myself, 2.5 hours. I'm just like a senior in high school, just by myself. Go to Purdue and play. I don't know anybody there, right? I play a few friendlies and I start getting some wins, right? I had worked a lot since the first tournament. I told you about that Roy combo video. I tried practicing some of my tech skill. I was watching Bomb Soldier. I go to this Purdue tournament and I get third. It was pretty shocking. I got third to NJ's Finest and Kurt Q. That was Kurt Q and NJ's Finest was grand finals. So those players are basically retired at this point. I played with both of them maybe a year or two ago, but they just played casually. And yeah, that was like my first top 3 placement. It was like one of my very few first tournaments. I felt like I had a good grasp of Falco at the time. I mentioned I was watching a lot of Bomb Soldier, so I kept sticking with Falco. I remember watching Bomb Soldier literally every day in high school at the lunch table. Definitely watch this combo video if you get a chance. It revolutionized the way we think about Falco and his pressure and stuff and pillar comboing. Look how bad this quality is, man. I was watching this on my little iPod back when the iPods had wheels. Oh. And yeah, that was the Purdue tournament. I did pretty well at that one. And I think from then on, I kind of just kept playing. I was like the best in my little group. I didn't do that well at Purdue, right? I got third, but I had to wait until another big tournament before I finally can consider it like the true fruition of my Melee career. And that is with Sakurai Can't Save You Now. Okay, so Brawl comes out. Brawl comes out not very long after this story starts, okay? So I'm in high school in the year 2008, and Brawl comes out in the winter. Okay, so literally as I'm starting my Melee journey, Brawl comes out, and man, Brawl did a big number. It split the community. It was a really weird time to start, but here's what I'll tell you is that I remember going back to Melee within 3 months of starting Brawl. Maybe 6 months. I gave Brawl a good solid try, and what happened was I still identified as a Melee player just because of all the stuff I was learning, and I kept seeing cool matches. And a local Chicago player by the name of Zijin hosted a tournament called Sakurai Can't Save You Now. And this is a house tournament at his mom's house. He ended up hosting more there at a larger scale, but this was me as a high schooler going to this random guy's house on the south side. There was 60 or so people, maybe 80, right, at this tournament at his house. He had 8 setups maybe scattered around his house, like 3 in the basement, 3 in the garage, 2 outside, and we made it work, dude. It was the weirdest tournament experience. It was very just much in a house. I met Rat, I met Cosmo, I met Trail, I met Tink, Kells, all these people, many of which are retired. I'm literally the only one that keeps playing out of them. But I met so many of these old school players at that house, at that tournament, Soccer I Can't Save You Now, which eventually led to more just weeklies or Smash Fest back then at his place. He would host Smash Fest at the same place as Mom's house. So it was a good start. After Soccer I Can't Save You Now, it really just jump started my career. I was a known player in the community. I just became entangled in Smash boards, and pretty much from 2008 on, I was committed. I was committed to Smash. It made me quit WoW. That's what it really happened. Is I quit WoW, and I started playing more Melee. I started practicing tech skill. I went to some tournaments, and then college just kind of happened. And with college, I just grinded tech skill at home in my little dorm. I didn't travel too much. I had a lot of quiet years in Melee. Maybe like 6 years of just kind of playing locally, playing some regional events. I went to like 1 or 2 nationals. But what you guys know from me, you know, you only know from the last 2 years. Really, all the Melee everyday stuff, all the Tempo Storm stuff. That was a story, guys. Thanks for listening. We honestly didn't lose that many viewers, so thank you guys for listening.